a quiet man standing at the door of a nightclub, unnoticed by the crowd, until Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson walked in and uncovered his secret. Who was this guy, and why is everyone talking about him now? Stick around to find out. This story will blow you away. It's just past midnight in Los Angeles, where the city pulses with neon lights and thumping bass. Outside Eclipse, one of LA's hottest nightclubs, the line stretches down the block. Drunk partygoers laugh, influencers snap selfies, and the air hums with anticipation. At the door stands Marcus Reed, a bouncer in his early 40s. He's tall, broad-shouldered, with a quiet intensity. His black t-shirt clings to his frame, a long-sleeved shirt rolled up slightly at the wrists, and his face carries a calm, almost invisible expression. To the crowd, he's just the guy at the door. They call him Big Man or toss half-hearted jokes about the giant guarding the gate. Marcus doesn't react. He checks ads, nods, and keeps the line moving. Every night is the same. Marcus blends into the chaos of the club like a shadow, his eyes scanning the crowd with a precision most don't notice. He breaks up fights, escorts troublemakers out, and does his job without fanfare. Nobody asks his story, nobody cares. One Friday night, a sleek black SUV pulls up to the curb. The door swings open and out steps Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's in town for a movie shoot, dressed casually in jeans and a fitted t-shirt, but his presence is electric. The crowd buzzes, whispers of, "Is that The Rock?" ripple through the line. People pull out their phones hoping for a glimpse. Marcus, unfazed, glances at Dwayne's ID, a formality, of course, gives a quick nod and waves him through. But Dwayne pauses. Something about Marcus catches his eye. Maybe it's the way he stands, steady, controlled, like he's ready for anything, or maybe it's the faint scar peeking out from under his sleeve. This guy's got a story, Dwayne thinks as he heads inside, filing the thought away for later. The club is packed. The DJ drops a beat, and the dance floor erupts. But trouble's brewing. Near the bar, a group of rowdy guys starts arguing. Voices escalate. A glass shatters, and suddenly, fists are flying. The crowd scatters, and the other bouncers freeze, unsure how to handle the chaos. Marcus moves like lightning. In seconds, he's in the middle of the brawl, separating the fighters with ease. One guy swings at him. Big mistake. Marcus sidesteps, grabs the guy's arm, and pins him to the ground with a move so smooth it looks rehearsed. The second troublemaker charges, but Marcus stops him with a single firm hand on his chest, his voice low but commanding. "Walk away. Now." The fight ends as quickly as it started. The crowd cheers, but Marcus just steps back, adjusts his shirt, and returns to his post. Dwayne, watching from a VIP booth, narrows his eyes. Those weren't the moves of a typical bouncer. Those were the moves of someone trained, someone who's seen real action. As Marcus turns, his sleeve rides up, revealing a faded tattoo, an eagle clutching a number etched into his forearm. Dwayne's seen that mark before. It's not a random design. It's a symbol you earn. After the chaos dies down, Dwayne makes his way to the door. The club's still buzzing, but Marcus is back to his quiet routine, checking IDs like nothing happened. Dwayne leans in, his trademark grin flashing. "Nice work back there, man. That tattoo. Special forces, right?" Marcus stiffens, his eyes flicking to Dwayne's for a split second before dropping to the ground. "Old ink," he mutters, his voice barely audible over the music. He pulls his sleeve down and turns away, but Dwayne's not one to let things go. "I know that, Mark," he says, his tone friendly but firm. "You've got a story, don't you?" Marcus doesn't smile, doesn't engage. "Everybody's got a story," he says, and goes back to work. Dwayne doesn't push, but he's hooked. Over the next hour, he watches Marcus from across the club. Every move is deliberate, checking the exit, scanning the crowd, standing with a posture that screams discipline. Dwayne's been around enough tough guys to know the real deal when he sees it. This guy isn't just a bouncer. The next night, Dwayne's back. It's closing time and the club is nearly empty. Marcus is stacking chairs, his movements methodical. Dwayne approaches, this time with purpose. "All right, man," he says, crossing his arms. "You're not just a bouncer. That tattoo, those moves. What's your deal? Who are you?" Marcus sighs, setting a chair down. For a moment, he looks like he might brush Dwayne off again. But something in the rock's earnest gaze makes him pause. He wipes his hands on a rag and sits on the edge of a table. Name's Marcus Reed, he says quietly. I was a Marine, Special Forces, Iraq 2003. My unit got ambushed in Fallujah. 7 of us went in, only 2 came back. I carried them out. Got this, he taps his tattoo, to remember the ones who didn't. Dwayne listens, his face serious. Marcus continues, his voice steady but heavy. After the war, I couldn't go back to normal. Too much noise, too many questions. This job, it's quiet. Nobody asks who I was. Dwayne nods, understanding. But you're a hero, man. Why hide it? Marcus gives a faint smile, the first Dwayne's seen. Heroes don't need spotlights, they just do the job. A week later, trouble strikes again. Outside the club, a group of teens gets into a fight. It's late, the street's dark, and things escalate fast. One kid pulls a knife, threatening another. The crowd panics, and the other bouncers hesitate. Marcus doesn't. He steps in, disarming the kid with a move so quick it's almost invisible. He pins the attacker without hurting him, calming the situation in seconds. A bystander catches it all on their phone, and the video hits social media. Nightclub bouncer stops knife attack like a The clip spreads like wildfire. By morning, it's got thousands of views. Dwayne sees it and recognizes Marcus instantly. He shares the video on his own social media with a caption. This is Marcus Reed. He's not just a bouncer, he's a hero. His story deserves to be heard. The post explodes, racking up millions of views. People start digging, and soon snippets of Marcus's past surface online. A Marine, a Special Forces operative, a man who saved lives and walked away from the glory. The next night, the club feels different. The regulars look at Marcus with new eyes. Some whisper, others nod respectfully. A few young guys ask him for advice, hanging on his every word. Marcus, uncomfortable with the attention, keeps his head down. Dwayne shows up again, this time with a purpose. He finds Marcus at the door and pulls him aside. You didn't want the spotlight, Dwayne says, but the world needs to know about guys like you. Strength isn't just muscle, it's carrying what you've been through and still showing up. Marcus looks at Dwayne, his expression softening. Didn't expect this, he admits. Dwayne grins. You don't get to choose when you inspire people, man. He hands Marcus a small, heavy coin, a Marine Corps challenge coin, etched with the words, Semper Fidelis. You earned this a long time ago, Dwayne says. Marcus takes the coin, his eyes glistening for a moment. Thanks, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. The club goes back to normal, but Marcus isn't invisible anymore. The staff treat him differently. The patrons show respect. And though he's still the same quiet guy at the door, there's a lightness in his step, like a weight's been lifted. Weeks pass and Marcus's story keeps spreading. Blogs write about the bouncer who was a hero. Veterans reach out, thanking him for showing what it means to carry on quietly. Dwayne's post inspires others to share stories of unsung heroes in their own lives. Marcus doesn't change, that he still shows up early, still checks IDs, still breaks up fights with that same calm precision. But now he knows his story matters. The final scene shows Marcus at the club door, the neon lights reflecting off the coin in his pocket. He glances at the crowd, then back at the street, his face steady but proud. The Rock's voiceover closes the story. Real strength doesn't shout. It stands quietly, waiting for someone to notice. Marcus Reed is proof of that. Have you ever met a silent hero like Marcus? Someone the world overlooked until their story came to light? Share their name in the comments below and let us know where you're watching from today. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button, and share to keep these epic tales alive. Join us next time for another story with Wayne "The Rock" Johnson that'll leave you inspired.